Hi, it's Dominic from the msguide.com. Today, I'm taking it easy. I've been working really hard on many things like setting up this channel and stuff. And I have learned very slowly over time that I actually need to give myself a proper break, and I'm not being lazy. So I'm just going to shoot a short video on my phone. And I want to talk to you about accepting your MS diagnosis and the changes that MS makes to your life, and maybe some of the ways that I have dealt with them, because it's a bugger. It's there. I can't change it. So it's how I've dealt with it. I've had MS for 27 years, so I'm a slow learner, but I think I'm getting there. What we're going to do is we're going to discuss them now. Changes to my life from MS. Everything. Absolutely everything. I'm 52. I was diagnosed in 1994, I think. You can do the math and find out if I'm wrong or not. It was so long ago that I can't put my finger on it. Shock and awe. These people go, it's the date of my diagnosis. It's the anniversary. And I'm thinking, really? It goes into a blur over time, which I think is a good thing, because it's very easy to obsess about it. And we all do. And I did. And it goes through your head about every 1 to 2 seconds when you're diagnosed. You just keep thinking, I've got MS. And you kind of know what it means, and you can read stuff and you can see things, and everybody knows somebody who's nobody remembers the sort of you look fine. They remember I've seen somebody in a wheelchair, I've seen somebody deteriorate really quickly, I've seen somebody lose all kinds of abilities and stuff. And yeah, that can happen. It could happen to me. I feel like it could happen any day. I always joke with my wife and say, you know what, I might not be able to feel my legs when I wake up. And it's kind of half a joke and half not, because the amount of people that I've heard tell genuine things like that, and it frightens the crap out of me. It really does. But you can't live your life in a state of fear. You know, it's a bit like the sort of, could get run down by a bus. I could get run down by a bus. As a friend who's a pilot in the Air Force, or was a pilot in the Air Force, said, when Jesus wants you for a sunbeam, you're off. So it's really because people survive extraordinary bad accidents, and people seem to die from the slightest, most minor things. It's really hard. So I try to use that as a guide and think, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But until I go, I'm not going to sit there making massive preparations to go and stopping my life in case I go, or it makes it so that it exacerbates things. Smoking, being overweight, not being exercised, not taking a DMT, all these things are the things that are known to not improve your prognosis. It's not a lecture, it's just those things, because I used to be overweight. I used to smoke. I have been in and out of good shape my whole life. And I didn't take a DMT for the first, mostly because they weren't available for the first 7 or 8 years, I think. I talked about it in another video, DMTs. But, right now, that's what I cling to. You medicate yourself for the future. You don't do it for now. You have to rest for the future. I could probably push through today. I've had 2 cups of coffee. I'm prescribed modafinil, which I heard somebody describe as pharmaceutical caffeine. I don't know, but I can take that. It doesn't change the fact that underneath I'm pretty knackered, because I've been hard at it for several days. I didn't sleep well for 2 of them, which is my own stupid fault, really. Poor sleep hygiene. We'll cover that in another time, I think, sleep hygiene, because it's more important than I realized. But anyway, coming to terms with the diagnosis, MS is your new permanent partner. I wouldn't call it friend. I don't see much to commend it in that sense, but it's there. Good things can come from it, though, and you've got to try and see them. It stopped me motorcycling. I used to love riding motorcycles. I was an advanced motorcycling instructor. I used to love it. And you'd take students and you'd help them get towards their test, because it's all about trying to reduce the chances of dying, because motorcycling is a pretty bloody hazardous pastime to start with. I heard a paramedic refer to motorcyclists as mobile donors, and they're not wrong, because far more of them die. You're soft and pink when it all goes wrong. So it's helping people stay out of those situations. But my eyesight was starting to trouble me, because things come and go with MS. And I couldn't take out a student that I'd said I'd take out. So I said to my best mate, or one of my best friends, I've only got a couple, and, can you help me out? And he said, sure. And that was 15 years ago, I think. They're married now, happily married. They're like two teenagers in love. They're almost so soppy. I mean, it's fantastic to see. He had a very good career. They've retired. They bought a place in France. They fixed it up. They're living there. Brexit's happened. They kind of don't care because they're there now. But the fact is, that was actually my MS that was a contributory factor to that. If I hadn't been able to see properly that day, if I couldn't take my friend out, she would have just had to sit there, and she was getting close to her test. So I rang another friend, and he said, yeah, no problem, I'll help you out, because that's what friends do. And bam, bam, they're married. I was best man at their wedding. He was best man at mine. Life takes funny turns. It's not all great. It's really sucky. I was most scared with my MS. It scared me the most when I used to have a career which was commercial lecturing and consulting. And I was giving a talk in Tel Aviv. And I'm in front of all these salespeople from a very large computer company, one of the biggest in the world, 3 letters. You probably can guess it. And my voice just stopped. I'm not kidding. It came galloping through my head and just went, stop. And I just thought, Jesus Christ, what's going on? And I turned to the board and I started drawing the most complicated diagram I could remember and thinking, I'm just going to buy some time. And all of a sudden it came back. But it kept doing it, and I had a really hard time. I bluffed my way through most of that, because bluffing is not a bad thing to be able to do sometimes. And it just petrified me, because you don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know if it's ever going to go away. It went away. It hasn't happened again, thankfulully. Well, there was 2 little episodes quite close together where for a couple of weeks at a time, I could just feel this coming on, and I just do this and go, and people around me thought, oh, he stopped. And if I tried to make a noise, it just came out as sort of garbled groaning. It was really bizarre. You knew this part of your brain knew what you wanted to say. This part that says it doesn't work. So what comes out of here is just you're forcing air over your vocal cords and making noise. And it's shocking. Because how do we communicate with people? Through speech. And I just thought, I'm going to have to buy a pad and write everything down from now on. But you just kind of got to adapt and improvise. And if you sit there and say, it's all over, I can't talk. It's all over, I can't see as well. It's all over, I can't move as well. That's just going to drag you down. And your brain controls how you feel. Because we all know that when you have a good day, you feel better. And when you have a crap day, you don't feel so good. So the thing with MS is to try and keep yourself as much as possible without deceiving yourself. Feeling as good as you can. I know somebody quite well, Mark Webb. He's on LinkedIn. You can look him up, and he does stuff for Shift MS. Mark has really been hit hard by MS. This is not a puff for Mark. I just constantly look and think, if it ever happens to me and I have to have a wheelchair, I'm going to be like him, because that's the way that you want to be. Not all mopey and blaming the world and all that kind of stuff, because it just ain't going to change what's already happened. As they say in Latin, Ilea, iacta est. The die is cast. We're here. We're here where we are. We can't do anything about it. I'm going to go and chill out. I don't know if I'm even going to bother to edit this and put this up today. But I'm certainly going to try my best. But before I go, I don't make any money from these. Hell, that's a ludicrous idea. MS isn't exactly a big money maker anyhow. But if you could please subscribe, then I know personally that making the effort to make these videos is worthwhile for other people, because I think I'd like to help people. I've sort of owned it. Took ages, but I've owned it. I've got MS. What can I use it for? Well, perhaps I can help other people with some of my experiences. So please subscribe to the video or the channel, whatever. See, I'm not very good at this stuff. We'll see you next time. All right. You take care. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.